What if Flash and Wolverine were one person and NC heroes? I'm Controlled Chaos. In this video, we're going to go over just that. So for the base design of him, what I did was choose Scrapper because they're both sort of scrappy fighters. And then I chose Claws because, well, Wolverine and then Claws, you have to have them. And then the secondary was Regeneration. Now, when I did the setup for the enhancements, which I'm going to show you right here, you're going to notice that I went heavy on the heals. I mean, super heavy on heals. And the reason I did that was for the pure simple fact that Wolverine has a very high regeneration factor, but the Flash also has a regeneration factor due to his speed. He heals very quickly. So I focused heavily on that factor alone and then put extra things in for doing the attacks. And then as you saw when you look at the costume, I went with the primary color being a dark red to bring in some of that brown from Wolverine's costume, and then I stuck with the secondary being a yellow. The reason I did the secondary being yellow is if you make it the primary, you actually look more like a reverse Flash, and I didn't want that. You'll also notice that it's mainly just all tights with some lightning decals on it. But if you look at the head, I made sure that the secondary detail has the lightning fins that come off to mimic Wolverine's fins. But let's see how this actually all plays out in a mission and playing with him. Now for the travel power, I did choose super speed, but because we're in a mission, I'm keeping that off. But let's see how this all fares out. And you notice I also took flurry. I wanted to have that fast attack effect in there and go that direction. But you also notice that the abilities pop really quickly because one, it being a scrapper, two, claws are very quick, which really adds that super speed feel and effect. So that adds a lot to it. Okay, we've cleared out that area. Let's move on. But there are other things I chose on there. When I went for the epic pull powers, I went with energy, because there were no lightning. If I could have chosen lightning, I would have taken lightning. But then you got that. And then of course I had to take the whirlwind effect in spinning around. And I really like that it keeps the claws out and going. So, and the fact that I can continue to attack with it. I can also just turn it off and go like that. But you notice, look at the health as I'm doing this. The health keeps up really, really high, and so does the endurance. And that's very important. And I really like this feel because I am literally at no risk here. And keeping this going. I can literally just go all day on this and have fun. And the bonus thing about this is you have the heroic recovery, which is really, really nice to the fact that with that, you are able to literally just keep yourself alive with a resurrection. And you notice I'm not touching any of those secondaries. I just have the one tug on, which I also did put a lot of endurance reductions on to keep the management of the endurance. I wanted to make sure that he could keep high endurance. And you notice this orange is really not doing much to the health, and the health is going back up fairly quickly, and even the run speed is really quick, and that's because in there I did the haste and added 3 runs to the haste. I want his natural run to be fast. And as I level this up more, I'm actually going to be putting in more into the damage output, because it will fit better with it. But right now, with it being at level 40, I just wanted to get the main regeneration feel in, because it just fit more with the character. Get them off my back. This is just cakewalk. Ah, miss. But this really has a Flash Wolverine feel to it. See how quickly I'm able to run up on them, and even if I wasn't able to get to them that quickly, I could easily just turn on the super speed. And I also have hasten on this character too. I do plan on getting burnout on them. I don't have burnout yet because I wasn't quite there. And I think burnout would be very fitting to the character too. It's, you know, all the super speed stuff I would take because, well, it fits with Flash. And then on top of that, it's the fact that you can do a lot with the super speed. Okay, now you notice I'm getting a bit low, so I can hit one of my other abilities. And just do that. And look at the health. Just call on that regeneration capabilities. It could either be because of Wolverine's quick healing capabilities and durability, or it could be because of Flash's quick healing. Both work very well. He's down. And the great thing is mission running with this type of build will be very, very quick. Especially if you put more accuracies in it and more damage later on. But I highly recommend, if you're wanting to go that Flash Wolverine feel, focus on your regeneration first. Then everything else. Just has a nice fun feel to it. Character doesn't look exactly like Wolverine, doesn't look like Flash. It does have that nice blend of the two. In fact, I'm gonna just jump in the middle of this pack here. See how I'm using the functionality of the different abilities depending on the situation I'm in? And still, look at that health. I had this whole entire group right on top of me and nothing was happening. I mean, I'm still barely hurt in this fight, and these are all yellows. Guy over here, let's get to him. There we go. Quick and done. Look at that. Even that Gatling gun attack had nothing on the health of this character. You notice on 1-on-1s, I'm just sticking to the 4 main powers I have up. Oh, missed there. That's okay. Done. Now, pretty much almost done here, because this is just to defeat all in the lab, so it'll go by fairly quickly and easily. Oh, I'm stunned. That's why I'm confused. Having break confusion. There we go. That's okay. I can just simply do this. And there we go. Back up to full health. And you notice, I didn't even put speed reductions on those long cooldown timer ones. And that's the benefit of this build, is you really don't need it. I mean, unless you're fighting a bunch of reds and purples, there's no point. I say if you're fighting reds and purples and that's your plan, go for it. Put in those time reductions, because it would also add to the feel of the character with the powers repopping very quickly, and add to the quick regeneration that the character would end up having. Excuse me. So that's very important to think about when building these types of mashed up characters together. And then you also want to think about positioning, so that you can do things like the cone attacks, because you have multiple cone attacks. You know, you get several AoE, you get 2 AoE around you attacks, which I really like. I mean, heck, my ability that I've been going off of my secondary constantly is always right back up because of how much this character can take. Done. That's simple. Easy to catch up to. The only thing you don't have on this type of build is vertical movement. There's not much height on this character, so you need to add that in by either adding super jump or adding jump into hurdle and going that direction is very important. But you notice by the time I'm done, I just have this main rotation that I go through. I like the fact that there's a stun in there also. Makes things happen a lot quicker. There's also a defensive debuff one, which I just pulled off right there. That adds to it. So there's a lot of versatility to this build. You also have a few abilities that do the knockaway, such as the cone one I just did. The whirlwind does a effect that's really nice to knock everyone around you away. I also like the fact that in the mechanics you can queue up attacks so that you can do run by hits, giving that flash type feel to them. So I'll give it an instance here on this next group that I attack. So I have, let's go after that person right there. I'm just gonna queue that up, run by him. There we go. And because of that speed that we have in the run, you notice I'm able to run up to him and get a hit or two in before they get back up. And that's very important. But there we go. That is the Flash Wolverine mashup build. If you'd like to see more builds, mashups, comment down below of two superheroes or villains that you'd like to see mashed together. They can be from DC Comics, Marvel, Image, Dark Horse, whatever, and I'll see what I can do to put them together. There are some limitations, however, because like when I was doing the franchise one where I took a character from a franchise and brought him into another, into say Heroes, I was able to do a lot of them, but one of them asked for Optimus Prime, and that's almost impossible to get a really good looking Optimus Prime type looking character in say Heroes. So I'm limited to the say Heroes character customization. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and YouTube will think you will like this video next. Have a great day.